What's up, and welcome back to Interpreting the Scares! Today we start our 7th and final franchise of the month with Cube. I couldn't even tell you the first time that I saw this movie, but if I recall correctly, I actually think I saw the second one first, loved it, and shocked myself to learn that there was actually a first and third movie that already came out, completing a trilogy, and I couldn't have been happier. This series as a whole is insane, smart, and a whole heck of a lot of fun for those morbid individuals like myself that love a gruesome time at the movies. Furthermore, it's one of the earliest horror films that I can think of that contained escape room mechanics, so the mystery angle of any of these films is really top notch. Anyways, excuse my blatant blarney, let's get cracking. This review is brought to you by the word of the day, blarney, talk that aims to charm, pleasantly flatter, or persuade. Cube centers on a group of seemingly random individuals that find themselves trapped in a cube-shaped room. On each wall, floor, and ceiling, there is a door that leads to yet another cube-shaped room, which seems to go on forever. Some of these rooms contain invisible traps that can kill you if you aren't careful. The team has no other choice than to work together to decipher the riddles found in each room to find out how to find the exit in this elaborate rat maze. There's a lot to love about Cube because if you think about it, this movie wouldn't have even been possible without the amount of really smart mathematical thought put into it. While Saw was also a franchise that used escape room mechanics, that was more on the riddle side of things. Jigsaw often gave his victims the answers from the get-go and offered them the chance to either do it or not. Cube's a little bit different because these people have to spot the riddles and hopefully figure it out all on their own. And because it's all about a cube-shaped room that sometimes moves on its own, you've got all of these mathematicians in the film explaining how they're calculating which way to even go. Now, I don't even know if it's realistically accurate, but it sounds believable enough, so the biggest thing to actually appreciate about this movie is without a doubt the mystery itself. Another great thing about this film comes down to the traps themselves, and this is where the movie just gets downright fun. Like I said, these people are traversing through a maze and avoiding rooms that can kill them based off of something about, prime numbers. But if they make a mistake and go into one of the bad rooms, horrible things happen. The movie opens up on a stinger of what the film's all about, and this guy just kind of crawls into room after room, and he gets chopped into a million pieces by invisible razor wire that slices through him. Another guy gets his face melted off at one point, and the film utilizes some really smart practical effects, which I love, to make the audience shout out in disgust, but in the best possible way. It's also obvious that the production design of these rooms is great. The Cube is obviously a character in the film, and all you have to do is see the movie once, and you'll never forget what the Cube looks like. Not in a million years, it's that memorable. That being said, the movie is not without its negatives, right? This is a movie that probably had a very low budget. In fact, I had to look it up. It cost less than $300,000 to make from beginning to end. When it has it, the visual effects of the film look cheap and fake, and they probably only filmed in one cuboid-shaped room, and with movie magic, colorful lighting, and editing, they simply make it look like they're going into countless other rooms. Part of that was actually smart. Part of it was just cheap. And perhaps the biggest negatives in the film came down to the acting. None of these actors were really that great at what they were doing. And unfortunately, one of the most pronounced actors, Maurice Dean Wint, is playing the most over-the-top and ridiculous character in the movie, making it feel that much more like a bad B movie. The good thing is that no matter how bad the acting is or how cheap the effects look in this film, the premise and the mystery surrounding the film as a whole was good enough for any audience to keep their interest piqued from beginning to end, keep them on the ends of their seats, and make them downright beg to see the rest of the films in the trilogy. Let's go ahead and talk about my final score for a second. From a technical, unbiased perspective, I gotta say, it's not really why you watch the film. Yeah, the production design is frickin' smart, and the writing of the mystery wasn't bad either, but a majority of the film really does sometimes feel cheaper than it ever should have felt. So that unbiased score is 68%. That being said, the movie is all about entertaining the audience above all else, so my bias score is actually very high at 92%, averaging everything out to a final score of 80%, 80 out of 100 possible stars, or a B- letter grade. I find it extremely interesting that a majority of these films that I've been watching for this Interpreting the Scares event have gotten similar bias and unbiased scores. A lot of them have been in the 60th percentile for the technical score and 90th for bias. That just goes to show you why there's such a strong community of people that love, live, and breathe horror. Because regardless on how good or bad they are from a technical level, they're still entertaining at the end of the day. Then again, I could just be speaking malarkey, right? So tell me your thoughts on Cube in the comment section down below. Am I the only one that actually likes this thing? Let me know which Cube movie is your favorite. As for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this review, because there's always more like it coming out each and every single day. Hit the subscribe button and bell to be notified when I come out with my review for the second Cube movie, Hypercube. And until then, guys, peace out.
Dave examines movies we just watch for fun. Davey is the expert. He is the #1 critic that I go to when I need a movie pick. Thanks for joining up with us. We think